What happens when I squeeze an orange? Well, part of the orange comes out, right? What happens when I squeeze a lime? Well, yeah, part of the lime comes out. Pretty obvious. But what happens when I squeeze a person? When life puts you in very difficult scenarios. When life squeezes you, what happens? What lives inside you comes out. The real you comes out. You get to know people when they are under pressure. And that's why a lot of relationships fail awfully. Usually, the dark side of a person pops up when that person is in a low. Otherwise, the only thing you are seeing is just his or her light side. Please, I know this is not exactly what you want to hear, but if a lot of things about others trigger you, that means you have a lot to learn. Opposite to that, if just very few things take you out of your chill zone, that means you are climbing the creation evolution ladder. But if you're here, chances are that you want to learn how to navigate through conflicts without losing your mind in the process. And that's exactly what I will teach you with 7 very simple principles. Let's disentangle our twisted and complex minds so we can see things with clarity. My name is Tuti. Welcome and let's start. Be proactive and stop sinking in a sea of negative thoughts. Give up to be the slave of your own mind. Decide to stop hurting yourself. The other person doesn't hurt your feelings, doesn't make you suffer. The suffering lives in your mind, in the way you see the world. The pain lives in you and you just bring it out when you interact with others. Compassion. Give up to judge others for their mistakes. People have the right to make mistakes. That's just the natural process of life. That's how we all learn life lessons. Something I always keep in my mind is this concept. If you don't do anything, you won't make mistakes. The more you do, the more mistakes you will make. It's just facts. Start having this mindset. I believe he is doing things the best he can, the best way he knows. That is compassion. Start getting into the deep universe of others to be able to understand them, to be able to accept them. I will use an extreme example to explain why empathy is so important in life. Let's say you go to the jail where the worst criminals of the whole world are. Imagine you start interviewing those people. You will listen the most heartbreaking childhood stories for sure. I have no doubt of that. Now, with this, I'm not saying go and hug and kiss criminals, because it's very important to set boundaries in life for self-protection and mind preservation. But if you see someone is always angry, you need to know that behind that anger there is a very sad life story, a story that will make you cry, that will make you feel you need to hug that person. But here's the thing, you don't need to go through life knowing everyone's story. If there is a boss that is always shouting at people, that is always trying to diminish people and make them feel small, it's because that person is destroyed and you do not need to add to that. If you are humble and compassionate, then you know you don't need to react. And then once you learn this how to become more compassionate lesson, life will take you far from that person. If you learn what life is putting in front of you, then life itself will turn the page. And then there will be another lesson to learn. Life is a never-ending book, but I would prefer much more to go through the book than to be always stuck on the exact same page. When we talk about conflicts, forgiveness plays a key role. Try to think this way. I give up to blame others for my pain. And that way, I free myself from resentment. I forgive you because you haven't hurt me. I generated all this pain myself because of the wrong image I created about you in my own head. Please bear in mind, I am talking about conflicts between adults, people who are 18 plus. Since the pain inflicted from adults to kids, it's never the kids' fault. When I'm filming these videos, I'm quite new at this. I have a very small YouTube channel and I do everything on my own. So just to transmit a little bit what happens behind the scenes, I set myself a limit of maximum 20 RC pieces per video. And for this video, I of course reached the limit. I have two that are my favorites, and I have them actually here, this one and this one. This one, it reminds me of like resilience, those times, at least in my life, where things were not going my way, where things were very difficult and intricate, but I knew I couldn't give up. I couldn't just disappear from whatever was happening. And it gives me that face that look like I'm not what I want to be, but I will keep on waking up and keep on going and keep on working hard until reality changes. So it evokes me those feelings of keep on going. And then there's this other one. It's a complete emotion and feeling of freedom. Of course, there's that bird flying and these women like spreading arms, and it gives me those vibes, or like when you're at the right moment doing the right thing and you feel like you're absolutely flowing in life and creativity is at its peak. So it gives me those absolutely amazing vibes. So yeah, those are the two favorites. If throughout this video you resonate with any of these images, they evoke you a certain feeling, they take you to the past or something, please let me know. Let's bring some detachment to conflicts. I give up to expect anything from anyone. I understand I don't need anything from others, since the potential of being happy lives inside me and relies on my decisions and my actions. I am always grateful when people are nice with me, but I no longer enslave myself to external validations. Assertiveness. Now, I know this word might be new for some of you, so just to make sure I can clearly express this whole concept, here I go with the definition. Being assertive, it's a communication skill that enables people to express ideas, feelings, or just any information at the right time with the right words, without neglecting or disregarding other people's ideas and feelings. To deeply understand assertiveness, we need to compare this term with other concepts. Let's discuss what means acting passive in a conflictive situation. It means you're being emotionally dishonest and self-denying, but more than anything, it means that others' rights and needs take priority over yours. Then, if you react in a passive-aggressive way, you are indirect. It's like instead of sharing what is honestly in my mind, my behavior can range from mild, snarky comments to gaslighting and, well, emotional manipulation. I subtly make clear that my rights and my needs prevail. Then we have the aggressive reaction, which is an inappropriate, honest way of communication. It's attacking and controlling. I boldly insist that my rights and my needs prevail. And thanks God for this, we have the assertive reaction, which is an appropriate reaction. It involves confidence and empathy because it respects the emotions of all the people involved. When I am assertive, I clearly express that we both have needs and rights. Being assertive also sometimes means, in this moment, I prefer to not talk about this. I am mad, and if I speak now, I will regret the things I will say. Please, let's find a better moment when I am receptive. So you see why this communication skill is so precious? Finding this quality in people is very rare. If you develop this skill, you will become magnetic and unique, and you will also become into a great positive leader. Now that we know what assertive means, let's bring it to the context of how to deal with conflictive people. In the long term, it's way better to share with others what you understand they can assume and accept. I used to believe one has to be 100% honest and sincere, and it's okay to go here and there talking without any filters. But then I realized that behind that image there is a lot of ego. There is a big ego behind that. It's like I'm the best judging character ever. Everybody listen to me. Listen to what I have to say about others, because I know them all. We have to share with the people who surrounds us the things they can assume and the information that won't disturb their mental health. But if you feel you have a lot inside, you have a lot of resentment, and you think that if you don't say all the things you want, you are going to explode, then it's way better for you to go and look for a psychologist or a professional where you can talk about what's going on in your life. Because if you explode in your inner social circles, you will find so much more problems than solutions. Expressing the things you have inside abruptly will hurt you way more than it will relieve you. It's not your purpose in life to go and find and discover what is right and wrong in others. Your purpose in life is to acknowledge and improve your own weaknesses and defects. Let others do their own internal job, and if they don't want, if they are not interested, then fine, leave them. You have absolutely no control over others. Of course, you can be more honest and open with the people who loves you unconditionally. But outside those sacred gardens, be mindful about the words you use. There is no good into going here and there throwing truthfulness bombs, because like that you will be burning bridges. That will fill you up with loneliness. It will be just you and your big ego, and there won't be room for anyone or anything else. When it comes to conflicts, you need to take responsibility. Give up to play the I am a victim game. Also, that's a way to run away from a problem, giving the other person all the power. Assume you're part of the responsibility. Think, what can I learn from this conflict, from this person? Look at it as a challenge. And we all know this, right? When we go constantly through challenges, we become so much more wiser and resilient. Acceptance. I stopped trying to change that person. The only thing I can change about that person is my perception. I see conflicts like, okay, I finally start to know this person. Relationships that are all roses and all great are fake and are an illusion. The moment you start navigating the dark side of a person, that honeymoon period is over. And you know what? It's over for good. It's nice to see reality. It's really counterproductive to waste time living in a bubble. Life just goes way too fast for that. As I said in the beginning, we get to know people when they are under pressure. For example, if after bad times you are still doing great with your partner, then okay, amazing. You are in a relationship that has so much more chances to succeed in the long term because both know their lights and darkness. I work on yachts, and every time I join a new yacht in the beginning, I am on an observation mode phase. I am friendly, but I really don't look forward to make strong connections with the people that I work with. Why? Because I wait until we have a boss trip. When the owner of the yacht comes on board, the pressure and the tension are on the moon because it's all about meeting the very high expectations of a billionaire. Imagine that. And because I have done this job for so many years, I know that under pressure, people can flip like a coin in seconds. And some of the adorable looking people that work around me can turn into toxic drama people in a matter of hours. I guess especially in work environments under pressure, you will have the opportunity to see how people try to sink you just so they look better, just so they can shine brighter. When stress levels rise very high, real personalities show up to the party. Because if someone is being fake, it's very easy to hide in the chill, easy, peaceful moments. But under pressure, fakeness, pretentiousness, and hypocrisy tend to vanish. Okay, let's talk about acceptance of circumstances. So I was editing this video, looking like this, and I got a call from my daughter's school, and my heart literally went beating like 20 million miles an hour because, I don't know, it's just whenever they call you, you're like, fuck me, something happened or what. And no, like I was like, is everything all right? And they say like, yeah, something happened, but it's not that bad. I mean, your daughter is full of lysis. And I'm like, oh, okay. So yes, I went to pick her up, and now her dad is making, like taking the lysis away with like a special brush. But yes, like every day I'm like, okay, I will plan my day, and life tells me no, I will plan your day. And then I am like, okay, I won't bother anymore because things never go to plan. But I guess it's just about also acceptance with circumstances, and just try to go with the flow. And I mean, life is so much more important than me, so I guess I'm powerless against destiny and however things have to turn out. So I know this example is so minimal and kind of stupid in the grand scheme of things, but it's just a good opportunity to, I don't know, just understand that it is what life decides most of the times. So yes, that was my take on acceptance today. The best thing we can do with the squeezing concept I explained in the beginning is to do some serious internal work, especially with our dark side. Let's get stronger. Let's work on getting solid improvements on our weaknesses when things are calm. So then, when hard times come, and believe me, they will always come for us, and when life squeezes, then we will be at a much better position to face adversity. When difficulties come for you, where do you want to be? Do you want to sink into problems and then sink with you and drag around the people who surrounds you? Or you prefer to learn how to swim gracefully through problems like a fish in the ocean? And I hope you prefer option B. In the grand scheme of things, it's all about letting go of the ego. It's all about making it smaller and smaller. It's all about conceiving relationships with humility. Life is so much more easier for humble people than it is for those with big egos that go through life stumbling upon big walls wherever they go. Circumstances just happen, and they are constantly changing and changing and changing. The important thing is what you do with those circumstances, because that just shows who you truly are. So right now, my biggest problem at the moment, it's the fact that I am ready to be a mom again and to have a second child, but my partner is not at the same place. He feels like in the future he might want to become a father again, but right now he doesn't, and I don't really want to go so deep in the in and outs of why and exactly he doesn't really want to go for it right now. But listen, this is not the worst problem that can happen to someone, right? Of course other people can have problems that are so much worse, but that still doesn't make our problems less important. So when something doesn't sit well on me, thanks of God, I have counseling once a week, so on Mondays. So I talk this with my counselor, and also I talk about this with my, give them the attention they need, because if we grab our problems and we're like, whatever, I just don't want to, like, I don't want to think about it, it makes me feel bad, it makes me feel sad or whatever, and you just like leave it in the back burner until who knows what and whatever. It really sits there, and it's that energy, right? Problems that are not treated at the right time, in the right moment, sit and they become a negative vibration inside us, a negative energy. If you're there, if you're watching this video, if something in your life that doesn't have you happy at the moment, and I would like to say welcome that. If you're able to do it, welcome it and talk about your problem. Like, the problems become so much smaller when we open, like when we are open and we talk about them. But if you decide to, not talk about it and hide it and make it look like nothing is going on when something is going on, you literally kind of like abandon that problem and you give that problem the power. And when you give that problem the power, the problem becomes bigger and bigger and bigger until it develops into sickness, into things that you will absolutely not want to happen to you. So yes, I guess it's as much as we welcome nice things to our life, it's great to welcome those things that are not so nice and integrate them and work with them. If I don't work about it, then I will grow so much resentment that will ruin me, whatever. Like, open up the problem, see what can be done. It's so interesting to see solutions, to see, well, not solutions, sometimes there's no solutions, but to see which are the ways. Yeah, so I don't know, just like share with others, share with paper, share with your pillow, crying your pillow, but express emotions, express feelings, and it always makes problems smaller and smaller and takes all the power they have away, because you take care of a situation and then the situation doesn't take care of you. You don't see people the way they are. You see people the way you are. What you see now depends on a combination of all your past experiences. And if you are interested in this concept, on this video, I explain it on a depth level.